5 units correspond to how many candy bars? Based on the text, it says Nathan sold 35 candy bars last month. Kevin?
Can you repeat what you said?
Sure. We said, you showed me on your hands that Nathan had 5 units. It says in the text, Nathan sold 35 candy bars last month. So where does that 35 go in our model?
It's not divided to 35.
Where do we place that 35?
You make it to a
Louder, please.
make it to a fraction.
Where do we put the 35 in our model if it says Nathan sold 35 candy bars last month?
As a whole.
Where do we put it in our model? Do we put it with Nathan or do we put it with Derek?
Nathan.
Nathan. And it's placed right up here for a reason. Are we saying all 5 units correspond to 35 candy bars?
Yes.
All 5 of Nathan's units correspond to 35 candy bars. That's important, okay? Thank you. Now, the next sentence says, how many candy bars did they sell in all? If I put the question mark right here, are these all of the candy bars? All of the units?
No.
If I put it right here, are these all of the units?
No.
All of the units have to include whose units? Bushra? Nathan and Derek's candy bars. So tell me, how many units will all of the units be? Nathan and Derek have how many units altogether? Units, not candy bars. Units. If you look at the model, it's right there on your paper. How many units do Derek and Nathan have? John, you need to look at your paper. Thank you, Kevin, for your participation. If you're not looking at your paper, you cannot answer this question. Aminata, how many units are there for Derek and Nathan? 5 and 3 is how many units?
5 units of candy bars.
How many units is that altogether?
35.
How many units did you count if you put them all together?
5 and 3 together is 8 units.
Louder, please.
8
8 units. So if I put the question mark here, does this take care of 8 units? If I put it here, does it take care of 8 units? I have to put it right here because this takes care of all of the 8 units. Okay, this is where you put the total for both of the ratios. Okay? So we have the question mark being right here. We want to find, to answer our question, how many units? To answer our question, how many units do we need to find? Kevin?
8.
Louder, please.
8
8 what?
units.
8, we need to find 8 units. But to do that, we first need to figure out, is there a relationship between a number and some units? I see I'm over here. For these 5 units, do these 5 units relate to any number? Do these 5 units relate to any number? These 5 units, do they correspond to any given value? Do we know what those 5 units are worth? Thank you, Kevin, for your participation. Looking at the model, what do 5 units relate to? Rodney, you need to open those eyes and get to work. Hands away from your face. Nia? It corresponds to 35. So we know 5 units give us 35. If we don't see that, we cannot solve this problem. 5 units correspond to 35. Do 3 units correspond to any number? Do 8 units correspond to any number? No, so the only statement we can use right now is what? 5 units correspond to 35 candy bars. So let's write that off to the side. 5 units. We're going to use an arrow to give us 35 candy bars. that's great and all to know. But I don't want to find 5 units, do I? I want to find how many units to answer the question. Aminat's already answered it for us, so her hand should be up. And everyone who listened to her response should be able to answer that. If not, you can look at your model again. How many units do I need to find to answer the question, where the question mark is? Ronnie said. I need to find 8 units. But in order to find 8 units, I first have to know the value of how many units? Mr. Lozano?
5.
If I know the value of 5 units, is that going to help me to find 8 units?
3 units.
3 units? Wally?
1 unit.
1 unit. The entire process is to go down to a relationship you know, and then break that down to find out what 1 unit is worth. Once you know what 1 unit is worth, can you use that information to find what 8 units are worth?
Yes.
Yes. So our first task is to find a relationship first. We find a relationship between units and a number. Now we break that down to the unit, what the 1 unit is worth. So we're going to write 1 unit below.